This is Tony Gill from Bristol Physio. We're going to go over McGill's Big 3, and McGill's no relation of mine, but he's a very good spinal specialist from America with some sensible ideas of how to improve your stability around your lower back and your spine, and really logically thinking about the musculature from the front, from the sides, and also from the back. The stronger they all are in these areas without really moving, so isometric force we call that, then I suspect that a lot of us would call that your core, then the better we are for our lower backs for the long term. They're pretty simple in many ways, but don't underestimate how powerful they can be, and they're an excellent way of helping people with more long-term lower back pain to try and improve where they are and build some stability around their spine. So we'll start with the first one, which is bird dog. Bird dog is a really simple position. We're on all fours and we want to find a neutral position for our back. So we're not all the way down, all the way up. We're in a relatively neutral position. We're going to use an opposite arm and leg. So an arm goes out, the back doesn't move. The leg goes out, the back doesn't move. We do both together and we hold that static position for a count of around 8 to 10 seconds and then slow control back down again. My top tip is don't let the knee go back down onto the ground because it forces you to rotate your spine again. So go up, hold for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, come back down, just let the knee hover. I'm on my toes a little to relax, and then go back up again. And we're doing around about 10 to 12 of these. You should feel the buttock working, the hamstring working, the back stays still, and we come back down again. Now if we want to supersize this, instead of just holding that position up, when we're in this position we can do small circles outwards, we can do small boxes with our toes, but what we're doing is just adding small instability. We can do that with the arm and the leg at the same time, and just focus on the back staying absolutely still as we're doing this. Relax the neck as well, doing that for the 10 seconds or so, and then relax back down again. We can also bias this to add a little bit more lateral controlling, which will give us more power at the outside of the hip, which is important for back pain, but also maintaining back stability. By that, more of a dog pee exercise. So we go out a little bit further to the lateral aspect and do the same position again. You won't go as high with the leg, but it'll still give you some control of the spine and fighting to get that glute med working hard, and back down again. The other bias in this position is instead of extending the leg outwards, which is more hamstring bias, lift the leg upwards with a bent knee, which is more glute bias. So you can work on different aspects of the hamstrings and glutes while you're maintaining stability of the spine. So harder for the glutes, easier for the hamstrings, slightly easier for the core because this is a short lever. Longer lever, harder for the back, harder for the hamstrings, easier for the glutes. That's position 1 of McGill's Big 3. Second position is a side plank. We can start on our knees to make it easier, have a hand on our wrist on the same side or down on the floor itself, and lifting up and holding that position. Just holding a nice position. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Your oblique muscles will work underneath, and again we're holding for around 10 seconds and slowly back down again. To make it harder as we go up, we can lift one leg out and it'll just give us more focal work. It's a harder stability and a longer lever out. To make it harder, we can do small boxes or circles, forwards and backwards with the leg, and then come back down. And again, holding for 10 seconds, doing around 10 of these. There isn't a magic number. You're doing as many as you can progressing. Start on 5, start on 8, start on 10, start on 12. But it's the holding that gives you your stability and makes you work those core muscles a little harder. To make it even harder, we can have the legs all the way out and again lifting up. If you can't control this position, don't do it. Go back to your knee. If we're trying to make this even harder again, going up into this position, holding the leg up, and again we can do small circles one way, for a count of 8 to 12 seconds, come back down and control all the way back down. You'd only advance to those when you're doing really well. So that's 2 of the McGill Big 3. The third is a little bit more technical, but just focus on your control. So lying down, you've got to flatten your back again. Keep your back in a nice flat controlled position. Keep one leg up and the other leg goes down. Keep that back flat. Relax the hands. I tend to open my fingers all the way, let my shoulder blades relax. I go onto the occiput, the back bump on the head. So I tuck my chin a little more so it's nice and relaxed. And then I just lift the head up, holding my head up. And that means I have to use my muscles in my core and my tummy to hold me up. Keeping that back flat, pushing the back into the ground. If it's a little easy, I tend to lift my shoulders a little more, but I'm not crunching up. Holding that position, flat back, holding that flat back, and then slowly back down again. Some of you'll find you'll get a little tight and almost fatigued in your neck. Change your neck position as you go up. Tuck that chin in a little. It'll help things out a little. Just holding that position and then coming back down again. This is using the upper trunk to make the muscles in the anterior tummy work harder. We could arguably do a similar from the lower part and slowly keeping the back flat, extending our legs slightly and then coming back again. Just keeping the back flat. Fight for keeping the back flat. Slowly, slowly, slowly and come back down. A double leg lower would be being able to control all the way with the back flat and coming back, which is incredibly hard. So we can separate and do one leg, holding for that 10 seconds and coming back, and then change, holding, 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 and come back and relax off. The last is a modification of that McGill Big 3, but it's thinking along similar lines of using a static position to strengthen your stomach muscles. McGill uses the top half, which is excellent. I think you can also incorporate the bottom half and train both aspects of that musculature in the anterior portion of your back. So I hope that's been useful. Just remember, pain gauge, 3 out of 10 pain. You shouldn't be going any higher, and effort-wise, around a 7 out of 10 effort seems to be pretty good from my perspective. You shouldn't be worse the next day. If you are, you're probably pushing too hard, or you're not doing some of the exercises correctly, or you're not at the right, at the right time for you. And again, I'd always suggest you take advice and seek specialist help from someone like a physiotherapist along the way, as we tend to try and modify your exercises to work for you. Take care and see you again soon. Bye bye.